So I'm here with Philly and Joel for the Razor's Edge, and welcome back to Damnation. It's been a while for you
10
guys.
years.
Is it 10 years?
10 long years, yep.
2012, yep.
No, 2011.
2011.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Come up my Facebook timeline.
Wow, yeah.
Good thing about it.
I remember it was much, much colder that time.
Yeah, it was indeed. And we were on later, but we're on nice and early, so we're nice and drunk.
Yeah, I remember last time I read out a bad preview on stage, which was good laugh.
It sounds arsey though, doesn't it? Whenever
No,
you're all like,
arsey, but it was hilarious.
excuse me, someone thought that
yeah.
I looked a bit like Jarvis Cocker.
But I'll say this, I'm a small, petty man.
Fair enough.
So, how's things been for you? Because this is your first show, is that right?
This is our first gig in 2 years.
Yeah.
Almost a week.
Yeah.
It's been weird. I'd say if there's one question that everybody's answer is the same to these days, it's how are you doing? Like, which is it's weird.
Yeah.
Been weird.
Definitely.
And how's it been for you guys? Because the limitations on what you can do over in Northern Ireland have been different to the main.
Yeah.
We had to cancel. We had to cancel our Irish shows on this tour we're doing right now.
Yeah.
So, but you know, I don't know, man. Like, we're happy to err on the side of caution about stuff like that. Really, as I said, the last gig was in Tokyo in 2019, and since then our long-standing drummer has left the band.
Yeah.
So, like, outside of the whole COVID pandemic stuff, there's been a whole sort of change really in the
Plandemic.
Pandemic. Sorry, Philip. Sorry, Philip.
I've been enjoying using the word plandemic to make people think I'm a dickhead.
Think.
Why would they do that?
So yeah, we our old drummer left, but like we made really good use of the lockdown. We made an album and stuff, and we got our big boy pants on. We did a lot of it helped the band become very independent, you know.
Yeah.
We made the album kind of mostly without a label and stuff like that, and just decided to friggin' go for it.
Yeah.
Which was a great idea, you know.
Yeah. So
And the album came out tail end of last year, wasn't it?
December,
yeah, which was when you last
almost
spoke to
a
us,
year
I
ago
think.
now,
So
incredibly.
and how was the reaction to that?
It's
Good.
incredible, really. I don't think we expected. I think you get used to expecting a certain level of things.
Yeah.
Maybe with our old record label and stuff, that was part of it, or just I don't know. We feel like we're pretty long in the tooth, and things are always going to be the same, if not maybe diminishing returns, if you have a cynical hat on.
Yeah.
But maybe something to do with the songwriting or the fact that we're with a new record label.
Yeah.
Spectacularly.
Yeah.
Great.
Like, we got on very well with AFM, our last label, but like they were a very old-fashioned German label, you know, and so we got lots of great exposure in Germany and stuff like that, but not really an awful lot in the UK or America and stuff. And that was part of the idea of signing with Prosthetic, was they were, you know, much more focused on trying to get younger people into the band and stuff. And like, fair play to them, like their game plan was good because we were able to double our Spotify numbers and more, you know.
Yep,
Which is a
absolutely.
big
Went
bump
from
up for
like
us, you know.
25,000 listeners a month to 50,000 a month, and now we're up in the 60s.
Yeah, and you managed to get Tails on Spotify and
That just happened organically.
Yeah.
That just
And that was kind of people power, you know.
Yeah.
Which was great because that was
pester power more specifically. Literally, I could have grabbed and hugged every one of the 100 fans we have. Whenever those albums reappeared on Spotify, it was just a miracle. Like, you have no idea. We'll actually never be able to publicly talk about the lengths we were going to and try to make up for that problem.
Yeah.
But we were like talking about having maybe re-record the albums from scratch, all kinds of things we were for years, and then the albums just turned up, and there was some indication that it was our fans' persistence in taking our side and fighting our corner that had led to that to some extent. Other bands' albums were also reissued at the same time, so that was just amazing. We were all, I think we actually went for beers because of that. We were all so delighted together.
we did indeed.
Yes, it was really, really amazing. It's funny. It's been a strange time, but it's been for the band a very galvanizing time.
Yeah.
I think we know who our fans are way better now, and I think our fans know us way better now.
Yeah.
And there's way more a sense of like we have a gang now.
Yeah.
You know, after the Eric thing and with C Savage and with doing the charity single, and like we're not massive, but the people who are into us are really in.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling to know. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
'Cause on an individual level, as a person who makes stuff, you don't know who's looking or listening.
Yeah.
You never know. Quite often there's not many people looking or listening, so to have very engaged people who really care and who will actually fight for you when someone's bullying you is amazing.
Yeah, that's a lot better, isn't it, to have those people in your corner?
Oh, definitely. You're better off having it. 1,000 fans who really give a shit about you,
Yeah.
and an entire Metallica legion of Egypt who have no idea what you stand for and who don't care who you are, you know.
And you're hitting the road for a couple of dates over here after this. So is there a challenge in terms of today you're playing a festival set and then the rest of the week you're playing a headline set? Is there much difference in what you plan for, or do you
really,
tend to?
I have to say. Our sets around an hour generally.
Yeah.
Either way, it's kind of, we've discovered, man. It's different. See, if you're like Metallica or Exodus and stuff, and you have slower songs or like lots of slower songs, you can do longer sets.
Yeah.
But like even like talking to Gary Holt and stuff, he's like, you can see people totally run out of gas after an hour. So I think thrash gigs are supposed to be an hour long, you
Yeah.
know, and then anything beyond that, people are looking at you in the audience being like,
You can
wanna go home.
You can see it. You can see it. You can feel it.
Yeah,
About 30 minutes in, some people just aren't doing this anymore.
yeah,
yeah.
And then towards the end, everybody's wrapped, including yourself. But yeah, like we've tried to build a new show that, you know, we for that reason we actually have songs now that are more groovy or slower and stuff,
yeah,
and we mix it up more. But it was a real like culture shock on the last album when we first did songs that were slower on purpose, like Bring Out the Monster and songs like that.
yeah,
And when we were playing them, we were freaking out. It was genuinely like outside our comfort zone.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
night would be like, this was a disaster, but it wasn't. People were dancing. We just were uncomfortable with going
Yeah.
slower.
Yeah.
We were more exposed.
uh-huh.
Whereas now I think we're much more confident about it.
Yeah.
We used to have proper Barneys being like, let's not play that song anymore. And then we're like, but people enjoy it. Okay, let's play it again, but I'm uncomfortable. Whereas now we get it.
And is it weird, you're going to be playing songs that you've obviously lived with for, obviously you wrote Sea Savage,
Yeah.
then you released it a year ago, and you've never played it live,
And
so all of a
live
sudden
first
you...
time.
Slightly scary, to be honest, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll leave it to your review of the concert to see how it goes.
See how much cabbage and tomatoes are on the stage after we finish.
I could do with salad.
Give this man a salad.
Get them on a salad. Yeah, it is weird. And when we were rehearsing for the tour, in my mind anyway, playing those songs and then playing songs that are from almost 20 years ago,
Yeah,
it almost sounds like two different bands. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When we were doing stuff from Sea Savage, I was like, oh, this is great, this is really cool. I got a real clear picture in my head of what we're like. And then we're playing older, punkier, thrashier stuff that's way different. Hell Trucker or something. It was
Yeah.
like, okay, this is like a different band.
uh-huh.
But it gels together, you know. You have to make it gel together. And also, you overthink it when you own it, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think people will come and see us and go, these songs are all exactly the same.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
While
we
we're
think
sitting
we're
there,
reinventing the wheel,
yeah,
and it's
you know.
like another SCDC album.
Yeah, you know, we're like, we know the names of all the different penguins in the flock. All everybody else can see is penguins.
Yep.
And so you've got Shrapnel coming out with you as well, which is pretty good because they've been through some good times and bad times lately as well, so
Yep.
it's good for them guys to get back out.
Absolutely. And
You-
like they've been great mates
Yeah.
of ours. Like Chris is filling in on drums on this tour, you
Right.
know, and like they've generally just been.
Is Chris playing today?
Yeah.
Yep.
brilliant.
playing
So
the
they've been,
guitars.
uh,
and so is Nath. Nath is playing guitar for us today.
Ah, right, okay.
Our guitarist JR has a family thing.
Yeah,
And he's doing that. So yeah, like today we're literally two members of Shrapnel that are playing with us. So
But it's funny because like
Right.
we've been thinking, you know, whenever we were setting up the tour, we were like trying to thinking of UK thrash bands. Who can you do this with?
yeah.
And like a lot of our old compadres, like SSS and stuff, are all gone now. You know, it's like sort of
yeah.
Loss and Evil, really.
That's
That's
it.
about it, really. You know, so it was great that like Shrapnel are there now. It's kind of more modern kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think that's probably part of the appeal is you're not
It's a
just
good thing, you know.
going for the denim and leather brigade. You know.
Yeah. Do you have a sense about the UK thrash scene? Because there's a lot of movement in there. There's quite
There's
a lot of bands
younger
that are
bands
coming
like
out.
Riptide and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there's lots of cool stuff coming up. But I don't really know if there's going to be the same thing. You know, whenever Eric were looking to sign a lot of UK
Yeah.
thrash
Yeah.
bands, I don't know if another label is going to do that just because, like, not a lot of bands from the whole, like, say if Eric signed 10 thrash bands, like, I don't know who's still around, doesn't Municipal Waste
Yeah,
and Evil, really.
Yeah, I
you
think
know,
it was just a moment. Kind of, I think there always will be thrash bands now. That's the
Yeah.
only thing. The internet has made it so that it's probably not going to die again.
Yeah.
You know, it did die, and then the internet saved it, and there's a wave. I
Yeah.
don't think there needs to be another wave because now there's just our bands. Now there's a lot of like thrash adjacent bands like Hell Ripper and stuff. You know, where it's like bands who do very well and are kind of thrash bands. You know what
Yep.
I mean? Or come from the same pool. So it's probably a lot healthier in that respect.
Yeah, I think so. Like, and that probably is like the thing that like the 2008 class that we were part of, like it really was just trying to appeal to people who were into 1988.
Yeah.
And I think the thing is with a lot of the more modern bands like Hellripper, Shrapnel and
They
stuff
don't
is
have
like
to do that.
they want to appeal to those people and a whole bunch of other people.
Yeah,
You know?
which is great. It means the genre's more alive, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm fairly insular. I don't massively keep an eye on these things, you know.
More looking for Billy Ocean tour dates.
One looking at,
More reading about it.
trying to listen to the new Tears for Fears, like that's. And then I sort of dip back in when Joe's like, "Oh, check out this band." It's like, oh,
But it's funny because
no
like
homework.
being older and having such a massively varied taste in music and stuff,
Yeah.
it does keep us very in the thrash zone, doesn't it? Because we're not listening to modern metal or
Yeah.
we don't have synthesizers or ulterior motives, as Iron Maiden would say. You know?
Exactly, yeah.
And now Iron Maiden do have synthesizers and ulterior motives.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like Splendid Tap, you know. That's our childhood up on stage. It's a preserved moose. When I'm on stage, I'm a preserved moose.
And that must be really funny because, of course, you're 20 years in now, aren't you?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, in a minute, yeah.
I mean, it's going back to when you started out. I mean, what was the ambition at the time?
I remember specifically what the ambition was. We had a list. We actually used to talk about it. We wanted to get a badge. We wanted to get a
Yeah.
T-shirt. We wanted to
Yeah.
get a demo, and we wanted to play outside Newry.
Mm-hmm.
And we played outside Newry immediately. We played in Belfast. The first gig with our name was in Belfast.
Yeah.
It felt like there was a couple of years though, wasn't it? Like we didn't get a gig in Dublin. We didn't play. It was not a thrash band
Until
Yeah.
2006.
until 2006.
Yeah.
2006. Yeah, the first gig with Gama was our first gig in. Or no. Yeah, it was Gama.
But I meant like subsequently we cut our teeth like doing punk gigs like Sport GBH, Poison Idea,
Yeah.
a whole bunch of bands like that, which was great because punks were very receptive of just anything fast. They were like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, we were never kind of like. There's a mistake that lots of young bands make, which is, they're still in their Mars attic and they fall out over what they're going to wear at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And they actually
absolutely,
do,
yeah.
they genuinely do. And I'm sure
Or the
we're
musical
14,
progression between demo 1 and 2, and you're like,
Yeah, and like they haven't even made demo 1 and 2, they're literally arguing about imaginary stuff like what will go in the album cover when they don't know the songs. And we never did that. We were always quite. I think there was sort of an unspoken nuts and bolts thing. We didn't even have the name. We were already writing songs.
Yeah.
We'd been doing covers, then we were writing songs. So we were never kind of like leaping. But we definitely had a list of things. And I remember we got the t-shirts and we were like, this is great. And then we did the demo. It was like, that's good. We have a CD. And it's sort of like a snowball. That builds your confidence and builds the momentum.
Yeah.
Because you've done that.
Yep.
So once you've done a demo, you know you can do a demo, and you immediately start looking at how to do another one. Once you've done a t-shirt, you try to sell them, and
Yeah.
And it just sort of snowballed from there. I do think when the Dublin lads joined the band, that was the big boost where we started gigging in the UK all the time. And I
that was
think
also right place, right time, because
That's
until
what
that point we were like aiming for stuff that was way above our musical pay grade, and trying to play like Megadeth and couldn't play like Motorhead.
Yeah.
But whenever Damo and Paul joined the band, they had chops.
It gets huge
So like,
boost,
right, okay.
huge boost. So our
Need to get
like our
good.
rehearsing became way tighter, and our writing became way tighter.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all about getting the right people around you, But we were already doing it, and they weren't doing bands. So,
Yeah.
but there's two things,
It's funny actually in the last year, because we've been like doing all this stuff online, making the record online and zooming and like doing lots of hanging out. We've probably done a lot more hanging out this last year than we've done in the last few
Oh,
years.
for sure, yeah.
So like it's really like friendship has become front and center. The most important thing in the band
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that we're mates
pals, yeah.
and we all get on and we all hang about, listen to
Yeah.
Billy Ocean and drinking.
Yeah, yeah. And it's great.
But it's like if that's in place in the center, then everything else gets easy.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, the songwriting stuff is easy as long as we're mates. Whereas if we're not friends, like a lot of our contemporaries and stuff don't get on with each other, but they're trying to write songs despite that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's
And I
very
think that's an
difficult,
obstacle. You need a functioning relationship.
Yep.
And you do see it in a lot of bands. You see it, you see it in bands where it confuses me because very few of the bands around us, and I mean even the bands above us, are like financially worth sticking with something just because like people are not getting rich. Even bands twice our size are not getting fucking really money off it. It's break even or you get 100 quid kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I can never fathom why when I meet those bands and they seem miserable with each other and they're
Yeah.
not mates, and I'm like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
You wouldn't go golfing
You'd be
with people
friends.
you absolutely hated.
yeah.
Which is what this is our version of golf, is like going
That's what
and
it is.
hanging out and
Yeah.
having
Thrash
fun with
metal
each
golf,
other.
like, yeah.
So that actual pause in proceedings, if you like, has actually benefited the band. Isn't it?
Oh, I
Absolutely.
think 100%.
and it gave us so much more independence. Like we'd made 6 albums or 5 albums with Scott Atkins, and like it really had got into a kind of mold where, you know, similar albums, similar response to the albums, and that was one of the things with Prosthetic. They were like, we want you to make a record with a different producer and etc.
Different master.
Yeah,
and then we made it ourselves.
Great. So coming back to today, you've got a set at, I think, about 20 to 5, something like that.
It is.
And
Remembered.
you were going to be going head to head with Greenland, which would have been interesting, but
yeah.
Obviously that's sadly fallen apart.
Yeah.
So,
Unfortunately, we're going head to head with Svalbard now, who are much more respected.
it'd be interesting to see what kind of crowd you pull in comparison to what you would have.
Probably quite a small one, really.
We'll see. I don't think that.
We're used to that.
Yeah. And then the tour starts when?
Well, today, this
Today
is the first
and
one.
London tomorrow.
London tomorrow. So it's only 6
Yeah.
shows, but
Yeah.
6 shows after so long
Yeah.
with nothing happening. It's colossal.
it does.
Yeah.
And we'll have plans to go and do another UK run next
Right.
June or July with Hell
Come to
Ripper
Wales
and
next
stuff.
time.
Well, that
Yeah,
was
we will,
that
we
was
will.
part of the thing with this thing, was like it was really hard to basically get everything in
Of
place,
course.
you know.
Yeah.
And like that was the main thing that we've heard from so many people is like,
Where did you?
why didn't you come to Wales?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we want to. We'd love to
feel-
play in Cardiff.
but like I think that's the appeal of trying to do it with another band. Like with Shrapnel is cool because they're there to support us and
Yeah.
it's a cool lineup. But having a more of a co-header thing with Hell Ripper,
Next year.
hopefully we'll get a different
Brilliant.
sort of
Yeah, it's a bit different. Sort of.
turnout, you know. and-
Yeah, we'll do a different
audience.
thing and stuff. Yeah. There's actually, we've already got some of the promoters in the pipeline for next year. So
Brilliant.
spring, summertime we'll come back,
Sure.
which is great. And it's one of those things, you know, we're from the neighbouring island, and you know, nearly all of us have lived here and all that kind of thing. And,
Yeah.
you know, touring the UK, to be honest, isn't the most easy experience. Like other countries have better infrastructure and stuff, and
Yeah,
obviously now
sure.
with Brexit, it's a bit fucking
Yeah.
weird and stuff.
Yeah.
But it still is kind of the home game for us.
Yeah.
The UK,
Yeah.
like it is the country that
Obviously,
we're biggest
yeah,
in.
yeah,
Here in
yeah.
America is the 2 biggest countries for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like,
And this is kind of where it started out, really. Is
oh,
it?
for sure, it is.
Like
where we
whenever
got
we
real,
started gigging abroad, it was coming over here on the sail rail
yeah.
and getting, you know, the megabus around holding your head and stuff.
You know, a lot of, yeah, we did, and a lot of people don't know it over here. But in Ireland, in every genre of music, there's a real tradition of just being an Irish band, staying in Ireland, and just
Yeah.
their ambition being
Yeah,
Ireland.
yeah, yeah.
And there are many bands who do quite well out of that. Now there are big bands who do frig all anywhere else, but we never had that chip on our shoulder.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
we consider ourselves an all-Ireland band, and maybe
That's also
we're
because
also
thrash
from
isn't
the UK,
that-
so
Yeah.
like,
Thrash isn't that huge in Ireland, so it's like Thin Lizzy and the Pogues, you know, they were always like the only way to succeed is to get on the
in the
boat to Holyhead, you know.
Which is what we
And we
did.
met the Pogues and stuff on the boat.
Saoirse McGann in the cafe, yeah. hanging.
I don't think anyone's seen Shane McGann when you've not been hanging in
Yeah,
it.
No,
But,
it's probably not.
That's his game, yeah.
This is when he can still operate under his own mobility.
brilliant. I wish you all the best for this tour, because getting around the UK is a shit. It's hard enough getting up here for one gig, but
Ah, no,
travelling
it'll
back
be good.
around,
We're all
but-
well sorted out. We've got our hotels, and we've
Yeah.
got a nice guy driving a van, and
Yep.
we've all got our Kindles and our big furry
He
coats.
was playing. What was he playing in the van that we told him to shut up and turn
It
off?
was Radio 1 just playing a shitty like Elton John mashup. It was really bad.
Yeah, it
Wow.
wasn't good.
But we can run Spotify, so we'll be listening to the Four Seasons and the Tops,
Yeah.
the Tops, and the Drifters,
Yep. All that sort of relaxy.
gypsy jazz music, yeah,
Yep.
jazz blues really, blues jazz.
I'll think of that when I'm back in work next week and you guys are listening to easy listening as you're travelling.
Fuck yes, man.
Yeah.
Only way to do it.
Brilliant.
When
Thank
you're
you,
drinking
guys.
a litre of ketchup every night, you don't want to ketchup during the day. Like, you know.
Magic. Thank you
Thanks
very
a lot,
much,
Bob.
guys.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you keep up to date with future episodes by subscribing to our channels. For more information on this podcast, or for all the latest music news, reviews, interviews and more, head over to our website www.therazorsedge.rocks.